Good morning to Wall Street Media. I'm Cynthia. I'm here with Doug, and we'll help you make money in the stock market with information you will not find anywhere else.
Hey, exclusive stuff, right?
Exclusive stuff? What do you got for us?
From San Francisco, from JMP, super cool conference. They have great stuff. And we've got two CEOs.
I just come for the tidbits.
You do?
Yeah.
No, you come in for the videos.
I come in for you.
Oh.
Anyway, so
Love Cynthia.
that's enough touchy-feely. Let's get on with it. So, should we get into our first video?
Yeah, super cool guy named Doug
Okay.
from Pennsylvania.
Great. Mr. Alexander.
You say Doug.
All right. Doug Alexander, Managing Director of Internet Capital Group, ICGE, discusses their business model as well as hot companies they have been increasing ownership stakes in. Let's see it. Come on, Doug.
Our motto is very simple. We acquire significant ownership stakes in private SaaS companies, online marketing companies. Again, average ownership is at 46%. We help those companies grow by providing capital and operating expertise. We focus very narrowly on the markets, those two markets. We feel we have deep expertise in both areas, and our entrepreneurs will tell you we add significant value through capital strategy, helping them build management teams, helping them develop relationships that can help them succeed. And then ultimately, our model is to capture value from our holdings, either through consolidating them within our financial statements, doing a strategic sale, merging them with another company, or an IPO. Our highlights from the first quarter, our 8 core companies grew 29% year over year from Q1 '07. Our guidance is 25%. So we are very comfortable we'll exceed that number for the year. And we deployed $27 million of capital primarily to increase ownership in our existing companies. So we'll deploy capital really one of two ways. Our first priority is to do it in our existing companies where we can increase our ownership because our view is these are companies we know, and if we can get more ownership as these things grow, that's a fairly easy way to build value. And the second way is to invest in new platform companies and bring them into the portfolio. We increased our ownership stake in Starsight, one of our hottest companies, from 26 to 32%. We're by far the largest shareholder. We increased our ownership in another very hot company, Channel Intelligence, to nearly half the company. And Go Industry, our public company on the AIM, is the dominant player in Europe in its space. DoveBid, which is a TPG company, was a dominant player in the U.S. We provided financing to acquire DoveBid to create a strong global player. So we have high hopes for the company post that merger.
Stop at John Bridges. Make some money.
Hey, I like him. These guys, what they do is, and he really emphasized this, it gives you a chance. They're like a venture capital fund for a variety of internet companies, right? But this gives you a chance where you can monetize your money, move it in and out, rather than having to wait, and also because they're public, right?
Right.
And also, you get exposure to a variety of different ones at different stages. So, like Metal Storm, I saw filed for an IPO. That's one of their companies. They're going to be raising $80 million, right? And it gives you a lot of unique opportunities that gives it a distinct advantage. When they're out talking to a company, right? An entrepreneur that has a small company that might be talking to other venture capitalists, right? They can quickly monetize it by offering him, shares of their stock, rather than saying, we're going to inject money like the traditional VC route, but it could be 3 years, could be 5 years until we take you public to get any sort of a payoff. So that gives them a good advantage when they're going in and bidding against others. Yeah. And they're from Pennsylvania, and it's Doug. I mean, my God, the stars are lined up, Cynthia.
Okay. So now going on to the next one.
Just admit it. Just say yes.
Stephen Springsteel. Okay? That's meant to be because it's, you got Springsteen. Steven's my boyfriend. Okay. Stephen Springsteel, CEO of Cordient Software. Cordient Software. CHR. Okay, great. Let's go. Stephen Springsteel, CEO of Cordient Software, or ticker CHRD, discusses the company's business model as well as second quarter financial and investment highlights, which include recent transactions with leading Turkish banks.
Our model is we get into a customer, and the initial ASP for what we sell is about $1 to $5 million of license and first-year maintenance and support. Get established in a business unit and then grow into other business units. And what this slide depicts here is, so far we have 86 customers that have bought either $1 million or more from us, and we had 3 that over time have bought over $40 million from us. So it just shows the value of what we do, that once we get established in a customer, we grow into other divisions, and they leverage off of that initial implementation because of the reuse capabilities associated with our SOA technology. And again, if you look at the 3 vertical markets in there, these are all brand name companies that you would very easily and readily recognize. If you look at Q2 was a tough quarter for us on the bookings and revenue side. We had financial services in North America, and to a lesser extent, we saw some slowness in the UK, and that really affected us. We were still able to break even, make a little money on a non-GAAP basis, and then we put some things in place at the beginning of the year that'll bode well for us at the end of the year, and I'll talk about that in a second. We have a backlog of $93.5 million. So our backlog is comprised of maintenance and support. It's comprised of professional services, and it's comprised of licenses that we can recognize over the next few years. And then without going through these investment highlights, let me just talk about for a second here the activities that we put in place at the beginning of the year, recognizing that our environment that we're typically used to selling into has changed. We've started to expand into some other emerging markets. We have presence in Eastern Europe. We're expanding into areas such as Russia, as well as India, Australia, Spain, and that was evidenced by we have some early wins with ING Poland, large insurance company in Poland, and we also have some nice wins with both the number 1 and number 2 bank in Turkey, most recently the number 2 bank, which is Akbank in Turkey. So we've planted a lot of seeds at the beginning of the year so that we can continue our string of growing the company. If you look historically, we've been profitable for 5 quarters in a row, and if you go over the last 7 quarters, we've had at least 1 mega deal in every quarter, or in 5 of the last 7 quarters. And a mega deal for us is a transaction of $10 million or more. So we still continue to knock down big transactions.
And we're back.
And we're back.
And who was that?
That was Accordion Software.
For who?
JMP.
What's his name? Steven Springsteel.
Steven Springsteel. I'm just a quiz here.
It's like Springsteen.
You think you're doing your word rumming?
I do. I like my word rumming. So I got some more notes from them if you want to hear those.
I want to hear them.
Okay, tell us about JMP.
JMP, good stock pickers, and they're having a great conference in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. We'll have more for today. Did I mention that we need you for 8 hours today? Because it's West Coast time. And I know that you're such a good team player that we can count on you. In any event, they have this growth research conference,
right.
And it's exciting because they cover so many different sectors. So many of the times it's just in one sector,
right.
And these guys have the next one you're going to do is Cisco, so very big companies, and they also have very small companies. They even have some private companies like Kayak.com that hasn't come public yet, and they have some biotech and some pharma.
Kayak is great.
Technology.
I used that to get some tickets.
Yeah, that's what we use.
Do you
sometimes.
use tickets? Oh, yeah. Kayak.
And so they're in all different sectors.
Right.
And luckily, we have highlights from some of the presentations.
Very good. Here we go.
Do you want to tell people where they can see the whole thing?
Yeah.
Here it is.
We've got wsw.com/webcast/JMP6. Again, that's wsw.com/webcast/JMP6. I was good the first one, wasn't I?
You were a lot better on the first one.
Okay, anyway, here we go. Jonathan Chadwick, Senior Vice President and Corporate Controller of Cisco Systems, or CSCO, discussed plans to expand virtualized services, particularly the goal of cutting travel spending by 75% by implementing more video conferencing.
Yeah.
Which is important since we have some information about American Airlines today that makes me very unhappy.
But you love flying.
I'll tell you about it later. James Caldor, CFO at Great Wolf Resorts, or cleverly named WOLF, which means wolf, discussed the expansion of existing resorts to include revenue-generating amenities like Starbucks, mini golf, and Magic Quest, as well as focus on international licensing and branding. By the way, I know that we've said so much bad things about Starbucks.
I bought a whole bunch of Starbucks. I think they're going to make a turnaround.
I'm buying their sandwiches every day. Like, they have this amazing egg salad sandwich that I buy every day.
I bought a whole bunch of Starbucks. I had a couple thousand shares.
Well, every day I make you richer.
Good.
Edward Lampier, CEO of
I don't appreciate
Sangamo Biosciences, or ticker SGMO, discussed trials for ALS, cancer, and HIV drugs taking place this year. Okay.
One more. This
you
is
want
a good
more?
one. I want the next one. I
wanted you to hold off. Okay.
I want more.
Benjamin Gong, Vice President of the Gong Show. No, sorry. Benjamin Gong, Vice President, Finance and Treasurer of Intuitive Surgical, or ticker ISRG, discussed Da Vinci surgical systems use in more hysterectomy procedures, with 150% growth in sales to this market expected this year.
Yeah, these guys do super cool stuff. Robotic surgery, right? Remote surgery. I'm excited.
You know who you look like?
Flipper.
No, you look like the little monkey that has his drum.
I am like the little monkey on here, and I just follow orders from you, Cynthia.
Oh, very good. And that'll help you along your day. Anyway, thanks for joining us. We're here every day at Wall Street Media.
We're going to have tons more.
We have actually we have a lot today. So please join us again.
We have Cynthia for 8 hours.
If you look below us, you got feedback. Please leave us some. Tell us what we're doing right. Tell us what we're doing wrong. Okay, we'll talk about the feedback later. We have a lot of shows to go.
I know.
Okay. You can find us at Look what I've done. I've done it again. You can find us at www.wsmco.com. And again, leave feedback. We'll see you again soon. Thank you. Say goodbye, Doug.
Goodbye, Doug.